Hey there. I'm gonna have to ask you guys to stop neglecting your pets. Now, I'm here with the Working Academy Owl for a very particular reason. You'll see on my buff bar here that I have improved specialization. Now, that's different from your default, which is a crit. So Alt P, you can go into your pet menu here, and depending on your pets, they all start out with a vitality and improved crit, unless it is one that doesn't have two abilities, like the Choo Choo. It only has one effect. Now, you can summon said pet, and then you get that effect. So you can customize your pets based on what your needs are for your class. Now, generally speaking, you're not going to be switching around too much on most classes, but you might have multiple characters, so you want to have a pet per. So I have my Academy Owl, which I've named Mew, as my specialization pet for my blue Gun Lancer build here. Now, to change these, you just go to a working Academy Owl. You can see it on the map as a pet icon here. So if I hover over, you can see the little dog. And when you go to them here, you can choose your pet. Now, in our version of the game, in the North American or worldwide, I guess there's also the EU and South America, etc. So the non-Korean and Russian versions. This doesn't actually really cost much. So you can just retrain on the go. So if I wanted to, let's say we grab this Helganu, and I want to do this as a physical defense, you just change the effects. Now, in the other versions, as far as I understand, it actually costs them silver or gold or something to actually change this. It doesn't for us. We got, really a generous ability to just change on the fly for no cost. And that's literally as simple as it is. Now, people are neglecting this. They get their pet, they equip it, and then they're good to go, and they just have the HP and the crit percent. Now, a lot of people will also look at this crit and go, 10% crit, why would I ever not use that? Well, here's the thing. So, specialization 10%, crits 10%, domination, etc. It's not referring to a flat 10% crit on your character. It is 10% bonus to the stat. So if we go into our gear here, you see our combat stats, it's 10% on this. So if I remove that specialization from myself here, so if I just switch pets and we summon Mario here, which again is a default name, you can change the names on them. You see how I just lost 100 specialization? So 10% of 1043 should be about 104. So if we go back to Mew and summon him, goes back up and it gains that 104. So that's what it's referring to as 10%. So if I did the crit one, it's 10% on 408. So let's go back here. We're going to grab him. So 408, we should be going up by 40. So we just gained 10% crit combat stat, not 10% flat crit. It is not nearly as powerful as you would think in that situation by reading 10% crit as the first one that they show you, right? So if crit is not your build, you should not have crit as the option. If you're a specialization build, you should be using specialization. If you're a swiftness build, you can switch it out and put swiftness. If you are maybe a support that isn't using swiftness and want to use endurance, maybe you want to be tankier, you can do that. I don't generally recommend domination or expertise, but if you're doing some sort of meme build to do a really big hit with a staggered opponent, then maybe you're going to do domination. I don't know. It's up to you. The point is that you can actually customize the pet and equip the one that is suited for your character. Now, physical defense, magic defense, you have to kind of figure out what are you fighting against, and is it worth it to be using a defense versus a flat HP increase of 5%. You can do percent reduction or a defense increase. So the difference between a damage reduction versus a increase of your base defense, it's really dependent on how much defense do you have, what engravings are you using, what card sets are you using. So if you're using card sets that are giving you damage reduction, a lot of damage reductions are not like an additive, they're multiplicative, meaning that the more you have from different sources, the less it's actually useful. So if you're not using those cards, then these might be great. If you are using those cards, you might actually have better results from physical defense or magic defense, because it's doing a base stat. Now, you could also be using the Engravings heavy armor, which gives you more defense, so you might want to try to stack that with this defense here, depending on what you're fighting against. It's up to you. There's a lot of customization here, but it's one of those, if you really wanted to min-max it, figure out what every single enemy, like boss that you're fighting is. Like, so for me, if I wanted to min-max, I would probably have specialization with max HP and have like 3 others, or 4 or 5 others, each with, it'd be 4 others, so 1 with each of the other defensive things. And I would just switch when I'm in battle. So if I'm switching to an enemy that is more magic damage based, I would just go in and I'd switch to the magic one that also has specialization. So you can min-max. Personally, I think I'm probably just going to be doing my main stat, which is specialization on this character, and HP, because flat HP is just always useful, whereas those percents on specific things are not as useful. That might change in the future when we get like really late tier 3, maybe when we're in like, 1500s. Maybe there's certain enemies that will one-shot you if you don't have the physical defense. I don't know, but you have the option there. So the other bits of the pet menu, so as you pick up more and more pets, you can change their names. So like this one's default is Mario. You just click on this little edit symbol up here and you can change the name. So we can call him Luigi instead. So now he's Luigi. And if you just, you can go back to what it was, like you can change it whatever way you want. The other things about the pet menu that are fantastic, it auto-loots, like that's just its basic thing. You can also tell it what to auto-loot. I don't know why you wouldn't ever want to just pick up everything, but that's up to you. The menu exists, it allows you to do it. The pet effects we already went over on how you can change them. It has to be at that NPC, the Academy. And then your pet functions here are if you have the Aura of Resonance. Now, the way Aura of Resonance works in this game, you can buy them for blue crystals via gold. So as long as you're able to make enough gold to buy in the shop, so if you hit F4 and go to the shop, if you can buy blue crystals, the currency exchange down here, so right now on my server, they're actually fairly low on the offers here, so I might pick some of that up later. But anyway, you can buy some blue crystals for gold, and then you can go into your, I believe it's function on the second page? No. Recommended. Go to recommended, so you have it right here. So for 420 blue crystals, which on our server, with it being around 700 gold, as of right now of the recording, you're looking at about 3,000 gold. 7, 14, 21, yeah, it's roughly 3,000 gold to buy a 30-day crystalline aura. So once you hit tier 3, you should be able to make money fairly decently, at least 3,000 gold in a month. Like that should be no problem. So you can see all of the benefits you can get there, but the main benefits for me is in this pet menu. You can access your pet's inventory, which, this is just another large amount of slots. I mean, I like to hold a lot of trash because I'm just, I'm a hoarder, so I like having a pet menu to hold my more valuable stuff. And then you can go into your storage, so when you're in an abyssal raid and you're like, crap, I'm out of potions, you can actually open this up and pull potions out when you're at the little yellow circles that allow you to do so. You can access the market from here, so you don't have to run to the market board. You can access your physical mail, so like this login event reward, the Aura of Resonance that I just was about to pick up. You can get it from here. So if it's mail that you can't get just from clicking here, like, I mean, that was a bad example, but if it was something that you couldn't get from just clicking up there, you can get it from here. So anything that's like a physical mail is what they call it. You can repair from here, which is amazing in your abyssal raids, and you can do that anywhere. So you don't actually have to be in the yellow circle for that. You could be mid-fight and have something break, and you can just pop Alt-P real quick, click remote pair, click repair, and keep going. The only thing that pops you out of that, like you'll get kicked out of the menu if you get hit during it. So you can repair your tools from the pet. Like pets are amazing, especially with the Aura of Resonance. And then the last one is you can actually do your refaceting from here. So if you wanted to re-roll the gems, you can do it from here. You don't have to go all the way to that location, which, your gem one over here. Why you can only do the gem one from the pet menu is odd to me. I feel like if they're going to have the gem menu, why not have all of the other ones, like honing, etc.? But hey, it is what it is. It's a nice bonus to be able to open up those different things. I think it's most likely because refaceting is something that you may want to do on the fly. compared to the others. I wouldn't, but, you know, it is what it is. So, one thing I always recommend too, never hit this button. Don't hit dismiss. Because if you dismiss them, you're not going to auto pick up stuff, and then you're going to have a bad time whenever you lose that, you know, epic drop that you wanted. So, that's pets. So please stop neglecting them. Stop using the crit 10% unless you're a crit build, because it is not actually 10% flat crit. It is 10% on the stat. So the bigger your stats get, the more the pet gives. So you want to make sure you're putting it in whatever your main stat is. So primary spec for me, crit is secondary, so I'm not going to go for 40 crit versus 100 spec. It's just kind of a no-brainer. So, cheers. I'm gonna go hang out with Mew.